total asset turnover, we want to see how effective the asset to generate sales. All right, so how to calculate total asset turnover is sales divided by total asset. So this sales is referring to the annual sales. So sales, you can find it in, anyone want to try? Where we can find sale? Christina Farhana. Can you try?
Yes, madam.
Where we can find sales?
Dekat kejap eh. We can find sales dekat income statement.
Yes, thank you. Right, so sales, you can find it in income statement. So divide by total sales. Where we can find total sales? Kausalya. Where we can find total sales?
Madam nak try boleh?
Boleh. Where we can find total sales?
Dekat income statement.
Total sales. Okay, let us look at income statement. Income statement. Is there any, sorry, a total asset? Is there any total asset in income statement? Sales, yes. We can find it in income statement. Total asset?
Total asset dekat balance sheet rasanya.
Okay, it's in balance sheet. So it's here. Total asset is a combination of current asset and also non-current asset. All the asset lah. Okay. Fixed asset plus with current asset, then you will get total asset. Okay, what is the significance of total asset turnover? So total asset turnover will inform us the ability of this asset, the effectiveness of the asset in generating sales. Okay, so it is about 85% of the sales. No, it's not 85%. It's about 0.85 times the ability of the asset able to generate sales. So each dollar that have been invested, each ringgit that have been invested in total asset able to generate about RM 0.85 ringgit of sales. So that is the meaning lah. Okay, is it good? It's good, but the asset is not fully utilized. It's not yet fully utilized. So if the answer is more than 1, it is fully utilized lah. But it's overutilized. If the answer is more than 1, it's overutilized. If the answer is less than 1, it shows that the asset is not yet fully utilized. But if you want to do the comparison, is it the asset is is efficient enough or not? You can look at the number, at the higher number. So the higher the number, the higher the answer of total asset turnover, the better the performance of the company. Okay. So total asset turnover, we also want to look at the higher number. The higher the figure, the better the performance of the company. So total asset turnover will inform us the effectiveness of the asset in generating sales. Okay, so it is total asset turnover. All right, so there are only 4 ratio under activity ratio. The first one is inventory turnover. We want to look into the inventories management. Second is average collection period. How fast the company able to collect cash from their client. third, we want to see the average payment period, how fast the company pay their supplier. And the last one is how effective the asset in generating sales. So there are four ratio under activity ratio category. The third one is debt management. So debt management, we want to see the debt level of the company. So the first one is debt ratio. So debt ratio is debt level lah, is the debt level of the company. So the first one is debt ratio. How to calculate debt ratio is total liabilities divided by total asset. So these both elements, you can find it in balance sheet. So total liabilities is current liabilities plus non-current liabilities divided by total asset. Total asset also current asset and also plus with non-current asset. So you just divide both answer, both amount. 1643. This is example for balik lah. So the answer is 0.457. So this answer you can convert into percentage. So the debt level of the company is about 45.7%. Is it good having debt level up to 45.7? So it depends on the company's management lah. Okay, a healthy management of a company, a healthy level of debt is less than 30. Okay, less than 30 is healthy. If that level is more than 50, it shows that the company incur a lot of debt. If the answer is more than 50. For bullet company, it is 45.7. So it's still good because it's not reached 50%. But how we want to compare with other company? Basically, the lower the figure, the better the performance of the company. Because we don't want the dependency on that. If the company depending too much on that, the company might severe to financial losses. Okay, if the company depending too much on that, the company might facing the insolvency in the future. So that is the consequences if the company having a lots of debt. Talking about debt level, it depends on the structure of the company. But me, myself, I always believe that debt should not be more than 30%. 30% is just enough having debt. If the debt is more than 50, that is a signal that the company need to lower down their debt level. Because I read that there are types of company, especially technology company. This type of company, they prefer to have their company is financed by debt, which is 70-30. So 70% is belongs to debt and another 30% is belongs to the equity. But for me myself, as what I have learned, I believe that 30% debt, 70% equity is healthy. 30-70. If 50-50, there is a signal for the company to need to lower down their debt. Okay. For you to do the comparison, just choose that the lower the debt is better for the company, right? The second is time interest earned. So time interest earned will inform us the ability of the company to pay interest. Okay, to pay interest payment. So how to calculate time interest earned? It is earning before interest and tax divided by interest expense. So these both elements, you can find it in income statement, where you can find earning before interest and tax. It's here, operating profit. Earning, all right, earning before interest. So earning before interest is here lah. This is interest expense, right? Okay, this is interest expense. So earning before interest. So operating profit lah. So operating profit also can be considered as earning before interest and tax. So here is tax, here in interest. So before interest and tax is operating profit. So operating profit divided by interest expense. Operating profit 418 divided by 93. So the higher the number, the better the ability of the company to pay their interest. So that is the meaning time interest earned. Okay. Next is profitability ratio. Profitability ratio, we want to see the profitability level of the company. So the first one is gross profit. So gross profit is gross profit divided by sales. Actually, in profitability ratio, all the profit needed, all the margin needed, you just divide by sales. For example, gross profit divided by, gross profit margin is gross profit divided by sales. Where you can find gross profit, it's a profit after you minus cost of goods sold. So gross profit divided by sales. 986 divided by 2074. So the answer is in percentage.
Madam,
Yeah.
divide or subtract?
Divide.
Divide, okay.
Ini subtract is actually sales minus cost of goods sold. Sales minus cost of goods sold, you will get gross profit. So to make it easy, just take gross profit divided by sales. Same thing.
Okay, madam.
Same thing. Gross profit divided by sales. Next is operating profit. Operating profit is profit after you minus cost of goods sold, after you minus operating expenses. Then you will get operating profit. Just now, we discussed that it is earning before interest and tax. So the same thing lah, earning before interest and tax and operating profit is the same thing. So operating profit divided by sales. Then you will get the answer in percentage. And the last one is net profit margin. So net profit is net profit lah. Net profit divided by sales. Okay. So net profit is here. Okay. After you minus tax. So net profit divided by sales. Okay. So usually when you compare gross profit margin, operating profit margin, and also net profit margin, the answer is getting lesser and lesser and lesser. Why? Because of the amount is getting smaller. Net profit is smaller compared to operating profit. Operating profit, the amount is smaller compared to gross profit. So the most important among these three margin is net profit margin lah. Because net profit margin is the evaluation for the shareholders to know how much the income that will be distributed to the shareholders. So among the three margin, net profit margin is very important. Okay, next, profitability ratio is about return on total asset. Okay, so return on total asset, we want to know for each dollar that have been invested into asset, how much it able to contribute to net profit. How much each of asset, from the total asset that have been invested into company, how much is the earning for net profit? So how to calculate it? It is net profit divided by total asset. So net profit, you can find it in statement of comprehensive income. Total equity, you can find it in, total asset, you can find it in balance sheet. Okay. The fifth ratio and the profitability ratio is return on equity. So return on equity, we want to know how much is the return for each money that have for each capital that have been invested into company. Equity is referring to capital that have been invested from the shareholders. So shareholders need to know how much is the amount for them as part of investment. So they can look their earning through return on equity. So how to calculate return on equity? It is net profit divided by total equity. So total equity, net asset, I'm sure you can get it. Where is net asset? For this example, total equity, you can take this amount, 1954. This is total equity. Preferred stock plus common stock plus paid in capital plus retained earning. Then you will get this equity. So total equity. So net profit. So this net profit 231 divided by total equity 1945. So the answer will be in percentage lah. So the higher the number, the better the performance of the company. Alright. So the last one is market ratio. So market ratio is depends on the earning per share. So earning per share, how much to calculate earning per share? So it's here, it's earning per share, net profit divided by number of shares outstanding. So the answer will be RM lah. The answer will be Ringgit Malaysia. Because we divide with number of shares of outstanding. So usually in market ratio, when you look at the financial report, when you look at the financial statement reported in annual report, earning per share already given. So basically, you need to find the number of shares outstanding lah. Because number of shares outstanding will not be stated usually, but sometimes they show how much is the number of shares outstanding. Usually, companies, they will not show you how much is the number of shares outstanding. They just show you how much is the earning per share. And in fact, in the income statement, they will show you how much is the basic EPS, how much is the diluted EPS. So you can just refer to both lah. Market ratio. So basically, the higher the number, the better the performance of the company. Okay. So of course, so this how we do the analysis of financial ratio analysis. Financial ratio analysis also have some limitation. Okay, because it's only based on historical data. So that is the first thing lah. Second, sometimes the answer might not include the depreciation. Okay, so ratio analysis, there are also some weaknesses on that lah. But we also can use financial ratio as part of analysis to a company. Okay.